Hi, so in this video, we are going to continue with the chat application that we were making. We are going to start with the dev server first. So npm run dev starts the dev server, and then I'll open up localhost 5173, which is where the site runs. We have the login page that we created in the last video. I am going to log in as one of the users that I had signed up with, and once I log in, this is the chat page that we left with, and we're now going to continue with the same. So the aim this time is that we have these users, but to show up a list of users on the chat page, we would need them to be a part of our database too. Right now it's in the authentication table, but we need them to be a part of our Firestore database so that we can fetch a list of users. So we start by creating a collection. The name of the collection is users, and then we will add some fields to this collection. So the way Firestore works is that there's a collection and there are documents in the collection. I'm going to create the first document with a field full name of type string. So the documents would be a part of this collection, and we are going to enter a value for the full name, and the next field is email. Email will also be of type string, and then we enter a value for the email, emily@gmail.com. and do we need another field? I think for now 2 field is enough. So we save the collection, and yeah, our collection got created with the very first document that has 2 fields, full name and email. Coming back to our app, we go to the sign up page. Now here is where I want, when a user signs up, I want their data to be stored in this new collection that we have created. So each time a user signs up, their information is already there in the authentication, but I want it to be there in the user database as well. So create user with email and password is what signs up the user, and the then function gets called when we have a success from this API. And when we have the success response, we store the user in the local storage. And once the user is stored in the local storage, we add them to database. So we create a function add to db and pass this user object to this function, const add to db with the parameter of a user. We are logging the user to see what values we have from it. So then we go to firebase.js. This is where all our Firebase config is. In this file, we've initialized our Firebase app and we've set up the authentication. We now import get Firestore from Firebase/Firestore. So we are now setting up database. The database of Firebase is called Firestore, and we're doing that. We're setting up Firestore for our Firebase app. I can remove these comments, I don't need them anymore. And right here below authentication, we would set up const db is equal to get Firestore, and we pass the app parameter to it, and then we return db. And then coming back to signup component, here we will import db from Firebase utils, and then we import collection and add doc from Firebase/Firestore. So now that we plan to add a document, add doc is the API that Firebase provides us, and we're going to use that. So here in this function, we create a new user variable, or maybe we can just get rid of it and instead just call the API. It's going to be asynchronous, so I would need async and then await. Add doc, this syntax is a bit tricky. Add doc, we pass collection to it, and then we pass db, and besides db the name of the collection, that is users, and then we pass the values to it. So first is email, which I get from user.email, and the next is full name, so user.fullname. But we don't have full name, so we might have to get it from email. So user.email, I'm trying to get the first character from the email, so I split it at the rate to get the first portion of it. Or instead, let's do some changes here. I create a variable full name where I use user user.email.split at the rate, and I get the first character out of the email to make the full name, and then we need to capitalize the first letter. So full name, again I'm splitting the full name into each letter, extract the first letter out of it. So we extract the first letter out of full name, and then we changed it to uppercase, and then full name dot split dot slice 1, which will remove the first character, and then we replace the full name there. Let's test it out. So we haven't implemented logout functionality yet, and I want to log out. So for now I'm just deleting the user from the local storage, which then logs me out on refresh, and then I will try to sign up to test this logic. So I'm going to sign up with a new user. Yes, and I click on the button, and let's see. So it gave an error, missing or insufficient permission. So it did not add my user to the new database collection that we just created. So we'll have to fix this issue first. So to fix this issue, we go to our Firebase console. Here we go to the Firestore database, and then we go to the rules tab, which is the second tab besides data. And here these are some of the rules that have already been configured. And if you see the condition there, allow read write if request.time is less than, there's a timestamp date which is equivalent to 26th March. It's the time when we probably set this up. So I'm just going to replace this condition and change it to true, which means that read write is allowed at any time. So this won't restrict my operations to a certain date. I can anytime go about adding and reading data from my Firestore database. And then once I have done that, I publish my changes. This is very important, otherwise my changes won't reflect. And now that this is done, I can go back to my application and test out if I got rid of that error. So coming back to my app, I'll again have to delete the user key from the local storage in order to log me out. And then I refresh. It gets me to the login page again, and I sign up again, this time with a new user. And yeah, I am signed up. And did it work? Let us check in the Firestore database. So I go to my users collection, there's another document created, and yeah, it did work, but the full name is incorrect. I think our splitting logic did not work correctly. We will have to add a join here. So I do full name equals full name dot join. It will get rid of all the commas in between. And yeah, let's test this out. Again, I'll have to log out by deleting the key from the local storage and then refreshing the page. Let's sign up once again. Let us see if it worked. No, it did not create any new record this time. Let's see what the issue must have been. Okay, we have an error here. It says full name.join is not a function. So we're doing the join at the wrong place. I think instead of here, we should be doing the join after the slice. Yeah, because those are the portion that has the comma, and we can remove the join from here. Alright, let's test it out once again. Again, logging out, and then sign up with a new user. Yes, so it worked this time. We have our document inserted into the users collection with the two keys, email and full name. So it did work successfully for us. I can go on and edit this wrong full name to the right value. We can do it right from here itself. So now that we have a list of users ready, in the next video we will learn how to fetch these users into the sidebar on our chat app. And in the meantime, all the users that I have here from my previous sign up, only 3 of them have successfully been able to create a user collection. So I'm going to keep those 3 and delete the rest of the accounts. Yeah, I don't need this one either, I'll delete it. And the last one. Yeah, so now we have these 3 users and we have an entry for them in the users collection in our Firestore database. That is all for this video. In the next video, we will learn how to fetch these users into our chat app and display them in a sidebar as contacts that then we can chat with. So stay tuned for the next video to learn more.